So, you finally jailbroken your old iPad. Cydia is sitting there on the home screen. Everything appears to have worked, and you're probably now thinking, okay, what do I actually do with it? Because jailbreaking the iPad itself is really only the beginning. If you've got an old unsupported iPad that's been sitting in a drawer for years, simply installing a jailbreak isn't suddenly going to make everything work again. YouTube will still be broken, the App Store might not download anything, modern websites might refuse to load, your security certificates could be massively out of date, and you're still running an operating system that Apple stopped supporting years ago. But this is where the jailbreak community comes in, because there are tweaks and fixes available that can completely transform what one of these old iPads is capable of. I've managed to get YouTube working again, I've improved modern website compatibility, I've restored Apple Maps, I've got Google Maps working, I've installed classic applications and games, I've completely changed how my iPad looks. And today, I'm going to show you 10 things you should do after jailbreaking an old iPad to start getting the most out of it. Now, because we're talking about legacy iOS, not every tweak I'm going to mention will necessarily support every iPad and every iOS version. What I have tried to do is include tweaks that are the most compatible across the most of them as much as I can. Always check compatibility before installing anything. And if you're watching this because you've got an old iPad or iPhone and you're not sure what works on yours, leave me a comment with the exact device and iOS version that you're running, and I'll try to point you in the right direction. Right, we've got a jailbroken iPad. Let's make it useful. Number one, get your certificate sorted. Before we start installing loads of exciting tweaks, let's deal with something considerably less exciting. Certificates. I know, not exactly the reason you jailbreak your iPad, but on these really old versions of iOS, outdated certificates can be responsible for all sorts of problems. You might open a website and it simply refuses to connect. A repository might not refresh correctly. Something might throw up an SSL error, and you can easily assume that the website or tweak itself is broken, when actually your iPad simply doesn't trust the certificate being used. So updating the certificates is one of the first things I like to get sorted on really old devices. Exactly what you need can depend on the iOS version you're using and the jailbreak you've installed. For example, some of the newer legacy jailbreak methods already install updated certificates as part of the process. If you followed one of my jailbreak videos, you may have already done this without really thinking about it. But if you haven't, it's definitely something worth checking. It's not glamorous, you're not going to install certificates and suddenly think you've got an iPad Pro, but they're part of the foundation that we're going to build on. Because once we start fixing internet connectivity and installing tweaks from different repositories, having working certificates becomes more important. To do this, visit from your device in Safari, go to tlsroot.lytton.ca and download the signed iOS bundle to give your iPad the best chance on the internet in the modern world. And that leads perfectly to number 2, install TLS Fix. Now we're going to try and improve internet compatibility, and for this we're going to use TLS Fix. One of the biggest problems with really old iPads isn't necessarily the hardware, it's the internet that's changed around them. Modern websites use newer encryption standards that old versions of iOS simply weren't designed for. That's why you can have perfectly good Wi-Fi, Safari says you're connected, but certain websites still refuse to load. TLS Fix can help with some of these connection problems. On compatible devices, head into Cydia, go to your sources and add nf0x.github.io/Cydia/. Let Cydia refresh, go into that repo and find TLS Fix. Install it and respring when prompted. And that's pretty much it. There isn't a massive configuration menu to go through, it just works in the background. Combined with updated certificates, it can improve compatibility with websites and services that previously refused to connect. Now, I really want to emphasize the word improve. This isn't magic. You're not installing TLS Fix and suddenly turning Safari on iOS 5 or iOS 9 into a completely modern browser. Some websites are simply far too complicated for these older browser engines. And personally, I still wouldn't buy something like an original iPad specifically as an internet browsing machine, but it can make the difference between certain things connecting and simply not working at all. So it's absolutely one of my essential installs. Number 3, fix YouTube. Okay, now we're getting to the good stuff, because if there's one question I probably get more than almost anything else about old iPads is, can I get YouTube working again? And depending on the device and version of iOS, yes, there are a couple of different community solutions, but my personal favourite at the moment is Tube Replacer. Tube Replacer is particularly impressive because it works across a wide range of legacy iOSs, from iOS 5 up to iOS 10. But some people have said it has worked for them on iOS 12 and can even support account sign-in. To install it, open Cydia, go to Sources, and add cydia.preloading.dev/. Let everything refresh and open that repo. View the packages and find Tube Replacer. Install it and respring your device. You'll then need a compatible version of the classic YouTube application. Tube Replacer supports earlier versions of Google YouTube app, and I've personally had good results with versions 1.3. So now let's find the right version and how to get it. If you've seen some of my other previous videos and heard me talk about app drop and you're already using it, this is where it becomes incredibly convenient. If not, do not panic, I'll explain it further down the line too. Go on to app drop if you have it, search for YouTube and choose the compatible version in the versions list. Install it and you're basically ready to go. If you don't have that option, another route is sideloading a compatible IPA from a computer. I personally use Sideloadly for this. You install Sideloadly on your computer, connect the iPad, provide a compatible IPA that you're entitled to use, and follow the prompts to install it onto your device. I can't provide or show you where to obtain copyrighted IPA files, but once you've got your legitimately obtained compatible application, drag it into Sideloadly, type in your Apple ID, user and password, and click go once you've installed. You will need to go to the settings profile and then trust the profile you just sideloaded for YouTube to work. Once you have done this, you're ready to go. Once you've got everything configured correctly, YouTube comes back to life. Videos load, you can search, and one of the best parts about Tube Replacer is that you can even sign into your Google account, so your subscriptions are there as well. Every time I demonstrate this on one of these old iPads, it still amazes me. We're talking about hardware that hasn't had official YouTube support for years. The community basically said, fine, we'll fix it ourselves. If Tube Replacer isn't compatible with your particular setup, there's also Tube Repair, which I found can be useful on some of the older devices. I've done more detailed videos comparing these fixes, so check those out if YouTube is one of the main reasons for jailbreaking. Number 4, sort out installing apps. Fixing YouTube is great, but we're not going to get very far with an iPad if we cannot install anything else. And unfortunately, application installation is one of the biggest headaches with legacy iOS. Sometimes the App Store works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it'll offer you the last compatible version, sometimes it will simply tell you the application requires a newer version of iOS. There is a useful trick here if the App Store itself is still functional. Using the same Apple ID on a newer supported device, obtain the application there first. Then go back to the older iPad and check your purchased applications. For apps where Apple still hosts an older build, you may then be offered the option to download the last compatible version. I've used this plenty of times, but once you've jailbroken, you have another option as well. One tweak worth knowing about is App Admin. On supported versions of iOS, App Admin allows you to choose and downgrade the older version of applications. It can be incredibly useful because sometimes the newer version available on your device isn't necessarily the version that works best. And this is one of those situations where jailbreaking suddenly gives you much more control over what gets installed. You can install App Admin through Cydia in the Big Boss repo, which comes with Cydia. Just search for it in the search tab through Cydia. Number 5, install AppSync Unified. Next is AppSync Unified. If you're going deeper into legacy iOS, this is something you're probably going to encounter sooner or later. AppSync Unified allows appropriate source IPA packages to be installed outside Apple's normal App Store, signing processes on a jailbroken device. For example, like YouTube we spoke about earlier. And that can be incredibly useful for preservation and for installing your own archived applications on hardware that the modern App Store no longer properly serves. Now, obviously an IPA file is still copyrighted software. A jailbreak doesn't suddenly give you permission to download paid applications you don't own, so make sure anything you're installing is something you're entitled to use. But for preserving your own applications and working with legitimate legacy software, AppSync can be an extremely useful part of a jailbreaking setup, and it becomes even more useful when you combine it with number 6. Firstly, to install AppSync Unified, install the source cydia.skyglow.es / and it's one of the tweaks in this source. Number 6, install Filter. If you're going to spend any serious amount of time experimenting with Jailbroken iPad, install Filter. Filter gives you something Apple historically really didn't want iPad users playing around with: a proper file manager. Instead of being limited to the little portion of storage Apple decided you need to see, Filter lets you explore much more of the actual file system. You can move files around, extract archives, manage folders, inspect application data, and perform loads of tasks that simply aren't possible on a stock legacy iPad. And when you're working with things like IPA files, tweaks, and other jailbreak modifications, having a proper file manager becomes incredibly useful. It's one of those tweaks that might not sound particularly exciting when you first jailbreak. Once you start doing more advanced things with the device, you'll wonder how you manage without it. Again, Filter is included in the Big Boss repo, which comes with Cydia. Just use the search tab in Cydia to find it and install it from there. Number 7, look at alternative app libraries. Now we get to the one I get asked about quite a lot. There are community created alternative app libraries designed around legacy iOS. One example I've used is AppDrop. Essentially, it makes finding compatible versions of older applications much easier because you can select versions intended for the versions of iOS you're running. It is a massive IPA library you can download directly onto your device, and that can be much more convenient than constantly fighting with modern app stores. You search for the application, find an appropriate compatible version, and install it. However, I can't go into complete detail of the installation process or tell you where to get AppDrop from. YouTube can understandably be particular about this sort of thing, and ultimately you should only be installing software that you're legally entitled to use. But if you're interested in discussing legacy applications, preservations, and old tech fixes more, come and join our Discord community. I'll leave the link in the description below. We've got loads of people there who enjoy keeping these devices alive, and it's much better place for conversation that go beyond what I can reasonably cover in a YouTube video. For me, having easy access to compatible software is one of the things that really changes an old iPad. Suddenly you're not just looking at an empty home screen, you've got games again, utilities, media apps, productivity software, and applications actually designed for the hardware you're holding. Number 8, fix your maps. This one is completely unnecessary, and that's exactly why I love it. It lets maps work again, because one of my favorite things about the legacy iOS community is that someone will look at something that hasn't worked for years and apparently decide, nope, that's not acceptable. There are community fixes available for mapping services on certain versions of legacy iOS. I've personally managed to get Apple Maps working again, including searching for destinations and navigation, and even satellite imagery can work. I've also experimented with getting Google Maps and Google Earth working again on older devices. One tweak you may come across is Maps X, which can restore functionality to Apple Maps on compatible legacy versions. And EarthX can restore map functionality in compatible versions of Google Maps. Again, compatibility depends heavily on the iOS version and the device you're using. I've also seen people use this feature, hotspot, and use it in their car. To install Maps X, this is within SkyGlow we spoke about earlier. Install it from the SkyGlow repo. And to install EarthX, add the source cydia.bag jailbreak-xml.com/, and the tweak is in that source to install. Number 9, install an enemy and make it yours. We spent most of this video fixing things. Now let's have some fun. Install an enemy. An enemy is a theming engine that allows you to dramatically change how compatible versions of iOS look. You can install different icon packs, themes, and give the entire device a completely different appearance. And where an enemy shines is this is where you can turn it on and off as you please and customize the look. Depending on your jailbreak setup, you may find an enemy available through repositories already configured in Cydia. Once you've got it installed, you can start exploring compatible themes. This isn't necessarily making the iPad more useful, but jailbreaking doesn't have to be purely practical. Half the fun is being able to customize your device in ways Apple never intended. And if you're keeping an old iPad around as a fun secondary device, why not make it look completely different as well? I've already done a more detailed video showing how I theme my legacy iPads. So if you like the way mine looks, check out that video after this one. To install an enemy, as I said, it's in the Big Boss repo included in Cydia. So you can use the search tab once again in Cydia to find and install this. Number 10, decide what you actually want the iPad to do. And my final recommendation isn't actually a tweak. It's something I think people often get backwards. Don't install 50 tweaks just because you're jailbroken your iPad. First decide, what do I actually want this device to do? Because that's where jailbreaking becomes genuinely useful. Maybe you've got an original iPad and you simply want it as a little YouTube machine. Great, get YouTube working, sort out the certificates, install TLS fix, and enjoy it. Maybe you want it for classic games. In that case, concentrate on restoring the applications and games that were actually designed for that generation of hardware. Maybe you want it mounted in your garage's workshop tablet. Load it with PDF manuals, diagrams, and reference materials. Maybe you're a musician and want an inexpensive screen for digital sheet music. Maybe you want it as a photo frame, music player, a basic note-taking device, recipe book in the kitchen, or maybe, like me, you simply enjoy experimenting with older technology and seeing how much functionality the community can bring back. The point is, you don't need to make an iPad do everything. You just need to make it good at something. And that's where I think jailbreaking old devices makes far more sense today than it did years ago. So if you've just finished jailbreaking and you're completely overwhelmed by everything I've just mentioned, here's what I'd personally concentrate on first. Get the certificate sorted, install TLS fix, get YouTube working, sort out a reliable method of installing compatible applications, and then I'd decide what I actually want the device to become. Everything else can come afterwards, because if you don't need 50 tweaks to transform an old iPad, sometimes just fixing 3 or 4 things that Apple no longer supports is enough to make the device useful again. And that's exactly what I found on my own legacy devices. And I think that's the main thing I want people to take away from this video. Seeing Cydia appear on a home screen isn't the end of the process, it's the beginning. If you've got an old iPad or iPhone that you're trying to bring back to life, leave me a comment below. Tell me exactly what device you have, which version of iOS is running, and most importantly, what you're trying to make it do. And I'll do my best to point you in the right direction. I've also got a whole playlist dedicated to unsupported iOS devices, where I've shown how to jailbreak different versions of iOS, fix YouTube in more detail, fix other applications, improve internet compatibility, and generally install tweaks to squeeze as much life as possible out of these old hardware. So if you've just jailbroken your first device, I definitely recommend checking that playlist out next. And for anything else we can't go into as much detail about here on YouTube, come and join our Discord community using the link in the description below. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more videos about jailbreaking and making the most out of older technology. Check out the merchandise if you'd like to support the channel, and you can also become a channel member for early access and some extra perks by hitting the join button below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.